So working with foreclosures is not a lead problem because there's leads out there. The problems is agents don't know how to work them. They don't know the foreclosure process. I didn't before. I had no idea how it worked. And even working with that broker, I had an idea, but he wasn't good at teaching, mind you. He was like, here, do this paperwork and send it off and all of that. And mind you, it was all typing, 3 copies, faxing, mailing, delivering, all that good stuff. So we need to know the foreclosure timelines because we need to have more knowledge than what the seller does, because the seller is going to come to you and look to you as a trusted advisor. So we need to know. We also need to know at the different stages how to talk to them, because in the beginning, we're that helpful advisor. When it gets close to the auction, we're like, you need to get your head out of the sand in a nice way. You need to get your head out of the sand and we need to act. And there's ways of doing that. And it becomes a conversation problem is agents don't know how to talk to them. They got investors knocking on the door. Hey, I can get you out of foreclosure. Here's a cash offer. We close on your timeline. You don't lose your equity. The problem with that is they're flippers and wholesalers, and they're offering them 70% of market value. When we get to that point, if that's where the seller wants to go, then we can offer them one of our cash offer partners that is willing to pay market value. We can offer them the cash plus offer, a cash plus resolution, where they sell to the buyer goes in and does whatever deferred maintenance or anything like that, and partners with the seller. And when it sells for more, the seller gets that $25,000, let's say. So it's knowing at the different stages of how to talk to them. So most agents, as I said, lose these listings. They're getting bombarded by investors. They're getting bombarded by real estate agents that just want the listing and sell their home. My approach, being a trained loss mitigation counselor, as I said, I started in 2005 counseling homeowners that were behind in payments. So I learned how to talk to them, and most of them can't keep their home. They don't have the means. But today versus back in 2005, 2008, it's not a short sale. They have equity. There are some short sales out there. And what I've been finding is the ones that are short have taken seconds and thirds, even thirds loans out and use their equity to help save their home. I imagine it was to get caught up in payments the reason that they took these seconds. And a lot of them that I'm seeing are like $15,000 to $30,000. They're small. They're not home equity loans to do any kind of renovation or home improvement. They're not that. To me, they look like they've been in trouble a long time. And so they found a source and taken out these hard money loans or these loans. And so what is short are the first isn't. There's equity to cover that, but not the first and the second. So they're short, not a whole lot. In some cases, like 10 to 20,000, which is one of these loans. But you got to go into the short sale part of it and all of that. So you start negotiating and juggling balls, and that's another class altogether. So, and I will be having that because those are coming up. So um, we'll get into that too. They sound like an investor, lowball energy. I can save you from foreclosure. I have this cash offer, blah, 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 blah. Um, Agents are ignoring the timelines. Okay. So, as I said earlier, talking to them at the stage that they're in, at the beginning when they receive that notice of default, they're still in denial. They're still like, somebody rescue me, somebody help me. I don't know where to turn. I don't know who to trust. I don't know what questions to ask. I don't even know where to begin. And that's where you come in with that conversation, not to go in and say, yeah, I can get your home sold. No, selling at that stage is a last resort. And why do you work it that way? You work it that way because, like any other client, you want to build that relationship. If you're a grinder and always going out for new business, but not nurturing the business that you have and building that database and staying in touch with these people to get referrals, this isn't going to work for you because your personality and the way, unless you learn how to talk to them, it's not going to work. What's going to work is for that nurturing agent, that agent that has compassion, that agent that has empathy. And I understand a little bit more of where these people are coming from because in 2006, my house went into foreclosure. I had an illness, recovered in mid 2005, and I was blessed with getting involved with a lot of loss mitigation, but it wasn't enough money to make my mortgage payment, and was really starting to get back to work. Went through all our reserves when I wasn't working, and then June of 2006, somebody shut the real estate faucet off. I would always have 1 to 2 closings a month. Well, I didn't have any from June till December that year. House went into foreclosure. We were able to sell it and reap a little bit of equity before the trustee sale date. I learned a lot. I also learned how to talk to people because of what I went through. Even being a real estate agent, I didn't know what I didn't know. And now I know. um, the other thing, too, is reaching out to these clients, to these sellers too late.